Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel Tarot for You 444. It's certainly lovely for you to be here with me today, and I am definitely sending you angel blessings from Australia, and I want to say thank you for being here. So today I want to talk a little bit about the concept that was brought about by Gary Chapman, and he wrote the book called The 5 Love Languages. And so I want to discuss with this with you today, whether you're in a soulmate or a twin flame relationship. These concepts can very much help you on your way to finding a greater understanding, first and foremost, of yourself, and also for the person you are thinking of. Okay, so I'm going to get straight into the topic because I don't want to make it too long, but I do just want you to understand it so that you can, find warmth and love and peace within your relationships, okay? And I want you to understand that this can also work in a non-romantic sense. Okay, so you can do this with your children, you can do this with your family, you can do this with your friends as well, in a non-romantic way. Okay, so this is progressing for all types of relationships, no matter what kind of relationship you're thinking about, and so it becomes a very important topic. Okay, so what are the 5 love languages? I guess that's the most important question. And so we're going to be taking a look at them. I guess I've written them down 1 to 5 here, but I'll be discussing them separately so that you can get a gist of them. Okay, so the first one is words of affirmation. The second one is quality time. Number 3 is receiving gifts. Number 4 is acts of service. And number 5 is physical touch. Okay, so what you can do is just have a look over those, and you can pause the video and write them down if you wish to do so. So I'm going to discuss them now. Okay, so first and foremost, words of affirmation are, could be phrases like, I love you, you're doing a great job, I'm so proud of you, wow, you did that really well. Anything that affirms your love or your kindness towards the other person that makes them feel good. Okay, that's what words of affirmation are. Okay, to counteract this, so it doesn't sort of backfire on you, if you were going to give someone words of affirmation, you should not be critical of them at all at any point. Okay, so if you were telling them that they were great at a video game or something like that, let's just say, wow, you do that really well, and then you started criticizing them, that's not going to work, because they will then not trust your word. Do you get what I mean? So if you're going to use words of affirmation, you need to always come through in a positive way. Okay, any negative words that you then say after your positive words are going to deny the positive words that you've already said. All right, so if you're going to use words of affirmation, you would need to be a great listener as well, and you would also need to encourage that person and affirm how well you think they're doing at something, or just beautiful words like, I love you, I adore you, I think so highly of you, I'm so proud of you, those kinds of things. The next one is quality time. Okay, so quality time is a focus on being present with someone. So, if you're having a conversation one-on-one with them, you shouldn't have your mind somewhere else and thinking about work, or I don't know, you shouldn't be texting on your phone while you're having a conversation with someone else. Quality time could involve, spending time going on walks, going to the movies perhaps, or weekend getaways, that kind of thing. And here you would avoid long stints without spending time with one another, because that would counteract the good that you've done. So, having a conversation about how much time you ought to spend together would be really, really beneficial in any relationship. Okay, so for number 3, we have receiving gifts. Receiving gifts and or giving gifts. Okay, so these should be thoughtful. They don't have to be expensive. A gift could also be considered, like a birthday card. A birthday card is a gift, and that doesn't have to cost much. A poem could be a gift, and that costs nothing but your time. You see what I mean? The most important thing here with gift giving is that you don't forget special occasions like birthdays or Christmas, or like New Year, that kind of thing. You would maintain your connection with that person, by giving them gifts. Okay, the next one is acts of service, and this is pretty self-explanatory. You could do chores for that person, you could make breakfast for them, you could help them with any workload that they have, whether that's a physical thing or a mental thing. If they're having trouble working out their accounting, you could do that kind of thing. And here it's really important that if you promise to do something, if you say, I'm going to do the laundry for you every Wednesday, that you come through and you follow through in that. All right? Because if you don't follow through, then that would counteract this particular love language. Okay, so the last one is physical touch. This can include kissing or holding hands, hugging, making this person a priority in the bedroom. If it's a romantic connection, obviously, you would make love to them, that kind of thing. You would not want to be cold or show any neglect, if they offered you physical intimacy. Okay, so negating them or saying no to them would be a form showing them that you are not completely up for it, if you know what I mean. That's not to say that some people don't get a headache. Hashtag I'm too tired, I've got a headache, but in general, if they kiss you and you turn your cheek away or something like that, that would show that you're not really into them in the romantic sense. Okay, alrighty, so these 5 love languages, I'll show them to you again. Words of affirmation, quality time, receiving or giving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. Okay, so you might have one or more of those that you like to receive from a partner. Let's do this, in terms of dating now. Okay, so if your love language was quality time and physical touch, then you would expect a partner to give you, quality time spent with you, their undivided attention in those moments that you share together. You wouldn't be, happy if they were texting or calling someone else in your time. And physical touch, obviously, that's up to you how far you want to take that, whether that's, making love, or whether that's just holding hands and walking along the beach together, you know what I mean? So that's up to you to decide. Okay, so what you like to get is one thing, and how you give love out is another. So you might also, even though yours, as an example, was quality time and physical touch is what you like to receive, you might actually be a lover in the way that you give someone words of affirmation and you give them gifts. Okay, so that might be your love language, as in you're giving that out to them. Okay, so now what can happen is that relationships can go haywire or batshit crazy, as I like to say, if your love languages don't match. Okay, so if you were giving your person words of affirmation and gifts, and their love language is quality time and acts of service, then you've got a problem. Because, here you are doing this and they're expecting this, and so there's a mismatch. Okay? Just as if your two important love languages that you like to receive is quality time and physical touch, and they're giving you gifts and making you breakfast as an act of service, you might go, well, they don't really love me, obviously, because they're not showing me in the way that you would like to be understood. Okay? So, I guess the biggest thing here is, the biggest question is, what is or are your love languages? What do you like to receive from someone else? What do you like to receive from someone else? And what does your counterpart, or the one you're thinking of, like to receive from you? And do you even know what these are? Because if you don't, and you're feeling disconnected in your relationship, then this could be why. So this becomes exceptionally important, because a great example might be, let's use men as an example here. Okay, let's use Larry. Larry likes physical touch, and that's his only love language. He doesn't care about all the other stuff. He doesn't care if you bring him a cup of tea as an act of service. He doesn't particularly want you to buy him a gift on his birthday. Quality time he can take or leave because he works a lot. He's not really a big one on that, and he's not really into poetry and words of affirmation. He doesn't really care, whether you say I love you 1,000 times or not. He's not really into that. He just wants the physical touch. He might get home from a hard day at work and call you up and say, hey babe, hey babe, come over. Let's just say, okay. And so his love language is physical touch. And he might be really, really romantic. Okay, here he is. Ooh, here he is being romantic. Let's bring the tarot into this now. And he's also coming in passionate, let's use the word passionate. Okay. And if your love language is words of affirmation, you want him to write poetry for you, and he's just kissing you and all over you, and you're thinking, hang on a minute, he just wants my body, right? Which would be what you'd be thinking, wouldn't it? He just wants me for my body, that's it. When in actual fact, that's his love language. Okay. So if he doesn't know that you want words of affirmation, and he's giving you physical touch because that's that's what he wants, then there can be an issue there too. Because a lot of times people go, well, hey, I know what I want. And in this case, Larry wants physical touch, right? But they don't actually stop to think what the other person wants. They don't go, how can we come together so that I can fill up her cup and he can, and vice versa, right? So I don't know, we could use Sally as an example, and Sally's love language could be acts of service, and she just really, really wants a guy to bring her, um, I don't know, pancakes for breakfast. And she also likes gifts, let's say, all right? So she likes gifts as well as acts of service. So, you know, if she kind of sees a handbag online and she goes, oh, Gary, you know, I really like this Gucci handbag, let's just say, as an example. And he goes, oh, do you? Well, that's nice. Right? So he's not getting the hint. Then she might think he doesn't care, because she sees that if someone buys her gifts and does an act of service like cooking for her or going to the shop for her or doing something like that, then it's a mismatch. And so this isn't to say that if you're with someone who's got a different love language or different love languages than you, that it can't work. This is just saying that you need to really sit down and say, well, look, hey, you know, I really appreciate it when you tell me you love me or that you're proud of me. Or perhaps if you wrote me a poem or a love letter every now and again, you know, and then that guy, let's say it's a guy, you know, might know that he could just leave little notes of affection, you know, on the kitchen top before the partner gets home from work or something like that, you know, on the bench. Hey, sweetie, love you. I hope you had a beautiful day. And then if her other love language was acts of service, you know, he might say, your dinner's in the fridge. I made you dinner. I know you have a hard day today. And then she'd be like, oh my God, I'm so in love. Okay. So, you know, what are your love languages? For some people, it's all of these. For some people, they have all of them. For some people, it's one. For some people, it's 2, 3, 4. You know, it's different for everyone. So if you know what your love language is, what you want to receive, then you can tell a partner what you would like. You know, you could even leave little hints and say, you know, I really like it when you cook me breakfast. I really like it when you buy me that Gucci handbag. I really like it when you spend time with me. I want to spend more time with you. You know, for a lot of women, quality time is really important, and physical touch and intimacy is also very important to many, many women. Physical touch is also important to men, but sometimes that can be in a sexual way rather than an intimate way. And there can be a little bit of a disconnect there in the physical touch arena, because if they both want physical touch, they both might not want it in the same ways. So that's just something I wanted to bring up. The whole receiving gifts thing can get a bit weird, because you don't want to make it seem like, you know, if you do enjoy receiving gifts, you don't want to make it seem like, you know, you want someone to spend a whole heap of money on you. You know, some people hate that idea of someone else buying them things. They don't like that. It's a turn off. Okay. For some people, words of affirmation will mean everything. You know, when he says he loves me and sends me poetry, or you know, leaves that little note on the kitchen bench, or leaves that really long text that says, you know, you mean the world to me. That's really important. And other people will just be like, ugh, no way do I want that. That's just soppy, you know. So it really comes down to your personality and what you perceive love to be. And it's really important that if you are, you know, in a relationship with someone, or, you know, even, I guess, dating or seeing someone, that you can let them know what your expectations are. And you don't have to just say, look, my love language is. But you might just explain to them that you really enjoy spending quality time with them. And, you know, it would be great if you could kiss and cuddle or something like that, you know, if that's your love language. And then you might hint to them to know what theirs is. You might say, you know, what do you feel is important to you? You could even test it out. You could try words of affirmation and and they might get turned off by that, or they might love it. With quality time, I just want to bring up the topic here that with quality time, sometimes, life gets in the way of this, and there's, jobs and things that have to be done, of course. So sometimes you can slot in a time, let's get together at this time because you're both working at the other times or sleeping or whatever, if you live on different, in different places in the world or different localities, that can be difficult as well. So quality time is probably something that needs to be discussed, because you have to literally come together and be present in the moment, not texting, not, on the phone doing business stuff. Okay, you want to be able to give your undivided attention to that person. All right. So this is your 5 love languages rundown. Now, if you need help with this and you want a consultation from me to help you, get a plan going, if you're already in a partnership or you would like help with regard to these love languages, I can do a consultation for you where I can work out the best way for your relationship to move forward within these 5 love languages. Okay, and this consultation you can buy from me, and the details, if you want more details about this, you can just email me at my email address below, and then I can work out where you and your partner are and what you need to enhance your current relationship if you're already in a relationship. Okay, because this is not just a romantic thing. This can work with family members, this can work with friends, this can also work with work colleagues as well if you're having any trouble in any area of your life. Okay, so hit me up for a consultation, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. I also do private readings for twin flames, soulmates, and I also do general life path readings. I also have an ascension package which helps you to get into union with yourself first and foremost, and then into union with whatever you're trying to manifest, whether that's a soulmate or a twin flame or something else. Okay, if you're a twin flame, I do also have a 1-hour instructional video on manifesting your twin flame. So just hit me up at my email, and I'll be of service to you as you need. All right, we can discuss what your needs are and work out the best plan of action for you moving forward. Okay, so thank you for sharing your time with me, and I wish you a beautiful day, night, afternoon, evening, or morning, wherever you are in the world, and hopefully I'll see you real soon. Bye.